The thumbnail, y'all read the title. Under the thumbnail, yeah man, this one today is dealing with your guys, J Prince Jr. and how the Alphabet Boys is looking for a shooter, Lil Cam Fifth. Now, I know it's a lot of people in the comments saying, hey man, this ain't got nothing to do with the Alphabet Boys. Well, it does. Let me let y'all know why. Because it's not just dealing with Takeoff, who's a high-profile case. It's also pertaining to what happened to Duke the jeweler in H-Town. Who's the jeweler? His people want answers. You understand? So at the same time, Takeoff people want answers. And they trying to understand what happened to Takeoff at a private event where he was supposed to have been surrounded, not by his own people, but people who's supposed to make sure that this don't happen. But the opposite takes place where it ended up in Takeoff untimely demise. So again, at the same time, I hear a lot of people. I feel you. Yeah, man, this is all the state. But I'm telling y'all, man, the Alphabet Boys, they gonna step in pertaining to it being a high-profile case, and they got all rights to do so. So again, man, I'm trying to let you guys know something. And this is the reason why Boosie was trying to inform J Prince Jr. that he need to turn over Lil Cam Fifth. Because at one point in time, a lot of people was putting what happened to Duke and H-Town on Boosie. Rightfully so, because of Boosie's past. But again, Boosie, he had to acknowledge himself that he really had nothing to do with it. And I know, again, a lot of people didn't believe him. I was one of those people that stated that, hey man, I really believe that Boosie had nothing to do with this. Because he's not from H-Town. He don't move around out there like that. You feel what I'm saying? He's either between Louisiana and Georgia. So at the same time, again, because of his past, is the reason why a lot of people saying, hey man, we already know you like to hire a lot of low-level street cats and do your criminal activity. But guess what? Now we seeing that was not Boosie. That was actually J Prince Jr. mob ties affiliates. Who, one of them happened to be Lil Cam Fifth. Because Lil Cam Fifth, he was not only at the dice game with what happened to Duke, he was also at the dice game with what happened to Takeoff. You understand? So that's the reason why people is not making this whole situation on what happened to Duke and Takeoff as isolated events. They treating them the same. They treating this as parallel situations, meaning that there's somebody that's affiliated to a certain camp that's doing this. And before we get into it, as always, let's first pay our respects and say rest in peace to Duke the jeweler, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in Chicago. Same thing goes for Atlanta's own Takeoff. Rest in peace to Takeoff, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in the ATL. Offset, Quavo, y'all keep y'all head up out there, man. Real talk. Same thing goes for Lingo. Hey, man, at the same time, the reason why I believe that J Prince Jr. is not coming forth with his shooter, Lil Cam Fifth, because he knows a lot of people will really start pointing a finger at him on what happened to Duke the jeweler. Even though it's some people that already are, because again, his shooter seems to have an itchy finger. Because people is trying to understand, especially what happened to Takeoff. Like, come on, man. If everybody in that building was supposed to have known each other and was comfortable hanging around one another, then why blickies need to be up? And that's real talk, man. And that's the reason why I know it's a lot of people blaming Quavo, but I'm not going to do that. I told you guys before, I'm blaming every man that's in that building. Mostly, if you want to hear my opinion, I put this on J Prince Jr. Because again, I believe he knew from the beginning, even before Lil Cam Fifth came with him, he knew Lil Cam Fifth was always itching to up the blicky. You know what I'm saying? You familiar with the guys that hang around you. And when you bring them to certain circles, you know how they gonna act. And certain guys you keep away. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Some of your guys you may be cool with, but you won't invite them all to a private event where it's a suit and tie, or a private event where you want everybody to make it back home safely. You know what I'm saying? So again, you already had this feeling. So I'm saying that about J Prince Jr. I'm saying that, hey man, I believe that he knew this about Lil Cam Fifth already. Yes, man. J Prince Jr. knew that Lil Cam Fifth was always itching to up the blicky. That's why if you guys pay attention, y'all will always see that Lil Cam Fifth, he stayed by J Prince Jr.'s side. And that's not coincidentally. Because again, I'm trying to let you guys know, J Prince Jr., he knew Lil Cam Fifth was always itching to up the blicky. That's why he kept him on his side. is what I'm basically saying. And at the same time, that's another reason why he don't want to turn over Lil Cam Fifth. Because again, Lil Cam Fifth, he was hired as J Prince Jr.'s shooter. You feel what I'm saying? So J Prince Jr., he would feel like he going against the person he hired to protect him. Because J Prince Jr. feels like Lil Cam Fifth was only doing his job. That's the reason why he has not turned him over, man. Because he didn't already acknowledge to Lil Cam Fifth before, hey man, if anybody move or act funny, you up the blicky. Come on, man. That's what these guys be already informing dudes. But again, this is where a lot of people disagree with J Prince Jr. When they like, hey man, y'all wasn't in a vicinity to be up in no blickies, man. Everybody in that building was supposed to have love and appreciation for one another. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that everybody in that building made it home safely.
You know what I'm saying? But again, like I told you guys before, even Sauce Walka spoke on the fact that he know a bunch of cats over there that's affiliated to J Prince Jr. mob ties. And those dudes, they don't respect J Prince Jr. or Jazz. And now we starting to see
Wanna make beats?
what Sauce Walka was saying is true. But at the same time, where I'm coming from is, hey man, you got people like Boosie, you got the Alphabet Boys, you got people in the industry, you got the fans, associates of Duke the Jeweler and Takeoff. They want you to bring forth Lil Cam Fifth. And again, at the same time, all this is making your pops look bad. And y'all pops ain't never been in no image like this. You know what I'm saying? Now, Jay Prince, they pops, he always did try to keep a cool slate in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't want nothing on his name. But again, he seems to get the opposite now that his sons is out there doing their own thing. And it's just a messed up situation because again, it's involving two highly successful black men that we thought, you know, they pops always spoke on, hey, we got to protect one another. We got to have order. You know what I'm saying? But again, the acts that his sons is displaying, a lot of people don't agree with. That's the reason why you got Duke the Jeweler people, Takeoff people. They want Lil Cam Fifth to turn himself over because again, they want justice, man. And they understand that this the only way that they'll see justice. But at the same time, like I'm telling y'all, J Prince Jr. knows that if he turn over Lil Cam Fifth right now, it's going to really put him under a bad light. And I don't think he ready for that heat. That's why I believe the pops, J Prince, he came out and made that message to let the people know, hey man, we apologize from this camp on what happened. And trust me, we going to try to do everything in our power to get justice for a Takeoff and his family, man. But again, like I'm telling y'all, man, he's only talking about what happened to Takeoff. Now it's a lot of people saying, hey, you forgot about Duke. We didn't. He still got a lot of people in H-Town that still want to know what happened to him. Same thing with Takeoff. That's the reason why Sauce Walka, he had to pull up to Takeoff's funeral to let the people know, hey man, there's still a lot of people in H-Town that got love for the Amigos. So don't think that because the things that the mob ties do has anything to do with the rest of us, because it doesn't. And I respect Sauce Walka for even approaching the Amigos to let them know, hey man, we still have a lot of love and support y'all over here. And if y'all was with us, this wouldn't have happened to Takeoff. And I'm here to tell y'all, man, that may be true. Because again, what happened to Duke, what happened to Takeoff, another case that shouldn't have happened. Because again, what happened to Duke and Takeoff, it just shows that we need to respect and have each other backs more than what we say we do. Or more than what we think we do. Because again, to up some blickies in a room where everybody know one another, man, come on, man. So again, J Prince Jr., you got to come up with Lil Cam Fifth, man. You got to go ahead and turn him over. I understand you don't because you've been knowing him for a long time. Hey, man, but right now, you got some guys over there that's putting you and your brother in a bad light. And there's some guys from H-Town that also understands that, hey, man, y'all from the suburbs. Y'all not ready for that heat, man. And we all seeing it. Hey, but J Prince Jr., instead of going at Joe Budden, you need to turn over Lil Cam Fifth. And you need to apologize to Duke family and Takeoff family for what your guys is over there doing. And that's real talk. Again, I'm telling y'all, it's messed up because of Pops. He ain't never been part of nothing like this, man. Trust me, he didn't want his name to be involved in anything dealing with this because he know his past. He been dealing with the Alphabet Boys for a long time. And I don't think his sons understands the magnitude of this. But as always,